Hi guys, my name is David James, and today I would like to talk to all of you investors out there about the use of ROIC, return on invested capital, here in Dubai to maximize on your investment returns. This is typically used with primary off-plan under construction projects where they have a very competitive payment plan. And this is something that now is really prevalent again in today's market. And why is that? Well, firstly, let's have a look at what's happened in Dubai in the first quarter of 2024. We've had over 25,000 new residents move to Dubai in Q1 of 2024. But developers in Dubai are forecasting to hand over only 30 to 40,000 new properties in the entire year. So we have a huge undersupply of brand new properties here in Dubai versus the current population growth. So what does that mean? Developers are racing to launch their projects this year. We've actually seen a record broken, one new project every 18 hours so far in Q1 of 2024, a phenomenal number of launches. And also that means developers now are competing very heavily like they were 2 years ago. They're competing again for the demand. And they're offering these very attractive payment plans. Post-handover payment plans are coming back into the market. And this is where investors can really benefit on the ROIC, return on invested capital, on that payment plan for the asset. So what type of payment plans would really enable an investor to maximize on this return on invested capital mechanic? We've got lots of payment plans in the market, obviously because of the competition this year with the developers, 60% during construction, then 40% post-handover over 3 years as an example. We've got that in the Biltmore Residences, which is our exclusive project actually here at Axe Capital. And this type of project, this type of payment plan really enables the investor to maximize on this return on invested capital. So what is the mechanic? Like, how do we do it for the investor and what do we advise investors? And let's just look at the rent return market and let's take the 60-40 payment plan as an example. 60% during construction, 40% over 3 years. Now, the investor will purchase the property. The studio, for example, at the moment might be around 1 million dirhams in the Business Bay location. They've invested 60% during the construction. They then get the keys and they can get a tenant in that property right away. And the tenant will pay the investor for the year up front. A studio apartment at the moment, around 60,000 dirhams for the year. So if the investor had purchased a 1 million dirham studio and spent 1 million dirhams and rented it out for 60,000 dirhams for the year, of course, their return on investment in that situation would be 6%. But on the under construction primary market, where they're getting a studio with a 60-40 payment plan, when they get the keys, they've actually only invested 600,000 dirhams, 60% against the 1 million dirhams list price. And then they can rent that property for the 60,000 dirhams. And of course, you've calculated it correctly. That is 10% return on invested capital. Now, obviously this is a gross return and they will need to deduct their service charges, but it's still very inflated versus the ready market on the return on their invested capital. Their returns, their yields will be much higher, and we can really achieve this now quite a lot in the market with many projects. Now let's have a look at the resale market. Resale, or what we call in the industry, the flip. And this can be done exclusively, so no rental, or it can be done obviously after you've rented the property for a while. So the flip mechanism, again, a studio, 1 million dirhams, you've invested 600,000 dirhams during the construction phase, you get the keys at handover, and you can even do this before handover, and then you can look to resell that apartment on. Now, the list price was 1 million dirhams. The asset appreciation during the construction could now mean that this studio is 1.3 million dirhams, and you've only invested 600,000 dirhams, that's 60% of the million that you purchased the studio for, yet you've sold it for 1.3, you've got a gross profit of 300,000 dirhams against the 600,000 dirhams that you've invested. That is a 50% return on your invested capital. So this mechanic is what we would recommend to investors quite regularly now in the market, because we have lots of options to draw on and the developers are really competing for the business. This is an ideal time to find that perfect project with a good payment plan where you can maximize on your returns as an investor. You can look to do the rental for 1 or 2 years and still benefit from the flip mechanism and make double the returns, double the whammy, as we say, and then you can really maximize on the output of your investment. Hopefully you found that really beneficial. If you would like to reach out to us here at Axe Capital, myself or somebody else in the business will support you along your journey for investment here in Dubai. Thank you very much for your time. Bye for now.